one is Hotel-Motel. This is Billy's department. He has, on the first page of revenues, he's estimated we'll bring in $350,000. I've estimated that we'll probably get $520 in interest. That includes the tax pool interest and the local interest. And that makes a total revenue of $350,520. Now, we're showing a deficit of $10,543 on this, but it's because of the calculations I have to do within the salary department, salary areas, because I have to budget insurance for Joyce, although she never applies for the insurance, I still have to budget for it. And she does take a little bit of insurance for her dependent coverage, but that makes the health insurance figure look bad, but that's according to budget etiquette, that's what we have to do. And then, if y'all have any questions, we'll ask Billy about the rest of it.
Well, the hotel-motel revenue is impossible to predict for a couple of reasons. One, the collection period, half the year, we're not, right now, I don't know what it's going to be for this year. We're still in our budget year, so there's two things that affect that. Number one is decrease in room rental, the occupancy percentage, and the other that we're facing right now is we have a big price war going on with the hotels. I mean, there's rooms going for $35 and $40 a night, where 2 years ago our average room rate was in excess of $100 a night. So that puts us in a bit of quandary. It's exactly what we're going to do. Now, going into this past budget year, of course, we bid for the American Junior Rodeo Association finals, and the CBB's got a substantial reserve fund, which we really shouldn't have anywhere near that much money in reserve, but it's been there. So this year, to get the HRA finals, I asked to tap into that reserve fund, and that's what we're doing. And it's very possible this next year, I've cut the budget by about $50,000, but there's still a good chance that we may have to tap into that reserve fund to continue our level of services that we provide. The key is getting the nuclear power plant. Once that gets approved and we get into that, I mean, that's the reason these new hotels have been built, for the nuclear power plant. So I think once we get into that period, the room rates go back up and the occupancy goes back up, that we'll be looking at a substantial increase in our hotel-motel tax collections. As far as expenses, like I said, I've cut about $50,000 out of the budget. I cut equipment. We bought a new copy machine this year, so I've taken that expense out. I've cut the travel expenses, which we never use. And in the almost 9 years that I've been here, whatever we budgeted expenses, we've never used it all. We've always had a reserve left over. That's part of the reason we've got a substantial reserve fund. We are going to probably have to cut some of our advertising budget and a little bit in tourism promotions, but still, given the amount of our budget, we spend a huge percentage on advertising and marketing. That's what we're going to continue to do. But I will tell you that for 8 years, I've come pretty close to projecting our income, and this year I just don't have a clue. I mean, it's, when the America's Best Values ring runs for $41 a night, I mean, that's not good for us.
Billy, who's your source for that information? I've called up there to all of them past 3 months trying to help different families with to stay in these different places, and they're not budgeting below $79.
Comfort Inn Suites, you get a room $69 anytime you want it. America's Best Value, they did the $41. I had got an email from a guy that rented 8 rooms, had a family event, and they rented them 8 rooms for $41 a night. Glen Inn Suites has a sign up that they'll do $35 a night for rooms. The secret, the future Chris, you call them and you say, hey, I've got an offer of X number of dollars, and you call the next one, they say, well, we'll beat that. I mean, it's crazy. Although I would like you to pay, the more you pay, the better it is for me.
Of course, right. Do you have any outages coming up this next year? Or?
I don't know what their schedule is as far as outages. Johnny may know more about that. I mean, I think they do one like every for 18 months, and then like every other year, there's an extra one in there or something like that. We do have a chance, and I don't know how we're going to be competitive, but we've got a chance to bid on 2 really big events that are interested in coming to Glen Rose. And that's the other thing, in 2011, I think it's April, we've got the State Master Gardener Convention coming to Glen Rose. And those kind of events are going to make a huge difference.
Billy, have we seen very much, every time I've heard about it in the Land of the Dinosaurs, I haven't seen very much. I heard they may be folded.
Well, they're going to try to make it through the end of the year, but they're only on Saturday nights. We've done a lot of advertising, not just for them, but for Glen Rose in general, but kind of geared towards trying to really push it this time of year. We've got promotions running with Radio Disney and KSCS and several children magazines. Their problem is that they had the money to do the season, but they didn't really have the money to do the marketing, promotions. So what they're trying to do is get through this year and then try to gear up for next year. So we haven't seen a huge, but we have seen some. I mean, we're getting telephone calls and we're getting people in the office that are here for the show.
Any questions?